power.
Oh.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Anderson Bros Outdoors. Today is all about the GLP1 car. So Axial released the heellimon, which is this car. It's like helium, but it's not helium. It's heellimon with a G-I-L-A. It doesn't make any sense. Welcome to the English language. It's my native language and I can barely speak it, so don't feel bad if you can't either. Now, the reason I call this the GLP1 car is because the heellimon is a lizard in the United States of America that is actually a poisonous lizard. Venomous, poisonous. I think those two go hand in hand, but they may be completely different, so feel free to educate me in the comments. With that being said, there is a list of medications that are extremely popular right now that are from the heellimon, and they include Ozempic. Actually, I have my phone here. They include Ozempic, and I can't even say the name. Saxenda and Victoza, Trulicity, Byetta, Bidurion, and there's three other ones that I can't pronounce because, like I said, English is hard. This is kind of a meme truck because all of these people taking all of these different medications that have GLP-1 whatever, they're actually consuming lizard venom, and they have no idea that that's what they're consuming to suppress their food cravings or whatever prognosis that they're fixing. I'll let the doctors handle that. I just think it's extremely funny that Axial released this buggy when they did. I mean, that's, yeah. Anyway, I kind of went over the buggy. There's a lot of videos out there going over it in detail, and I don't want to rehash a lot of the same information, so I figured I will just do a quick talk on it, talk throughout some of the video, highlight some things that I want to highlight, and send you on your merry way. With that being said, the truck is absolutely bone stock. I don't have any servos or motors or things like that. The only update we did to it is the wheels and tires. So these are the Vanquish Battleborn 2.2 wheels, and good luck getting them because they were released many months ago and I have never seen them in stock. I actually had to purchase these from a friend who got them for me in Florida, because the shop there wouldn't ship them to me. So good luck getting these. They are wrapped around some cut and shuts done by my buddy. Huge shout out to James for that. The inserts in them are inserts that I've created. There's a link for them in the description below on Cuts 3D. These are actually dual stage inserts. They have a soft outer insert till about right here, and then the second stage is essentially stiff. You have TPU on the outer stage, the inner stage is generic PETG or whatever you want to print with it. Now, what's really cool about these inserts, and I'll leave the video that I cover all of this stuff in the description below, but these inserts replace the stock clamp ring and actually split in half. That allows us to fill the inside of the insert or the stiff insert with BBs. It keeps the front end with weight, and so it eliminates me having to spend a bunch of money per truck in brass because I can just transfer these wheels wherever I want. The other really nice thing is since the BBs move inside the plastic, it always keeps the BBs down low. I've had very good luck with them, and I really like them. There are probably some positives and some negatives or drawbacks running them, but so far I haven't seen any issues with them. The point of the video is the heellimon, not the wheels and tires. I just wanted to cover that because that's the only thing that we've changed. We're running the stock radio. Everything else is stock. So first things first, what do I think of it? Well, I don't think it's that big. I think it's really, honestly, having put the RC Speedy cage on my SCX6, I kind of like running the SCX6 more than the 10 scale buggies because it's more realistic. The tires actually work better, I found, because of how much bigger and much more weight the truck is. I feel like that this is a perfect combination of that 6 scale and the 10 scale. I don't know that I would call it 8 scale. It is more 8 scale than it is 10 scale, but you know, every manufacturer has different scale sizes. With that being said, this truck is a lot of fun. This is probably one of the only Axial trucks that I would buy 2 or more of. And that's saying something. I know that there was a lot of drama surrounding the SCX-10 Pro and maybe some of the other SCX vehicles. I haven't really had any bad luck with them. There were just some things that when I was doing the initial review that I found that maybe we could do better. And I think Axial heard a lot of those complaints, not just from me, but the community, and made those changes, which you can see in this truck. A couple of the things that I really want to highlight are the axles. So on these axles, they're really masterpieces. They've moved from having cap screws to button screws. As you can see, they've hidden the screws very well. You can see that this truck has been used, and they really did everything to this buggy that I would want to see. I'm very impressed with the shocks. They are probably my favorite ready to run shocks that I've used to date. They haven't really leaked. I mean, there's some residue on them, but it's not anything. Well, I guess this rear one here is pretty leaky. So unfortunately they leak as well, but you know, they all do out of the box. So I'm not really upset about it. It is what it is. I will be completely transparent here. I don't have any deals with any manufacturers. I pay for all of the vehicles that I get. There is no freebies, if you will. This truck is no different. I paid for it from my local hobby shop. Huge shout out to D&Me here in Topeka, Kansas. Feel free to go hit them up. I think they still have 4 of these in stock. So if you want one, I would highly recommend you go get one from them. They are a ton of fun. There's a lot of modularity with this truck. You can move a bunch of different things around. You can make this truck your own, which I like. Not only with the suspension, but with many other aspects of the truck. The lights, the axle, right? The axle is extremely modular. You can make it drag axle or straight axle in the rear. You can make it 4-wheel steer, and you really only have to update some components. You don't have to get a whole new axle, which is something that's really nice. Now, driving this truck has been a ton of fun, and it's probably one of the only trucks that I've pulled out of the box and had a extremely good time with. Now, granted, I do have different wheels and tires, and just note, these front tires do have about 3/4 of a pound of BBs in them on each tire, so we're looking at between 1.5 to 2 pounds of BBs or weight added to the front, and I didn't have any problems. You'll hear me a couple of times say the servo gets weak or the servo sucks, and it's really because of all of the weight added to the tires. I think that the servo really performs very well for being a stock servo. The one servo that I didn't like was the rear servo for the ASD or the cutting brakes. This servo has a very hard time, and I don't know if it's because my endpoints need to be set or what the problem is. It has a very hard time actuating and deactuating the cutting brake on either side. Now, I know that it has a hard time deactuating it because it's probably not strong enough, so I'm not extremely worried about it. I'll replace it with either a Reefs Micro 99 or an NSDRC RS 100. Overall, this is a great truck. I had no problems with it. It is a little longer, so I think that I measured this at a 15-inch wheelbase. And I mean, this would be a very big class 3 Sorca truck or a very big buggy. These axles will be perfect for your class 3 Sorca truck because with these wheels and tires on here, this truck is about 12.5 inches wide, and the gates for class 3 and Sorca are 16-inch gates. So you throw these axles on your class 3 comp truck, and I think that you're going to do fantastic. With that being said, let's jump into the video. I'm going to add some commentary as we play the video, so stay tuned. All right, jumping into it, you can see we're going to hit some of these rocks here. So we don't have a lot of really good, long, tall, rocky areas. So we're pretty much stuck with these little stones that are placed throughout the state.
It is quieter than it was.
But it's better than nothing. As you can see, we were successfully able to climb that rock. And the same for this rock. I'm just playing around with the cutting brakes or ASD here. As you can see, we locked up the passenger side. One of the things that I thought would be a problem is a huge skid plate. So the skid plate is massive. I thought that the breakover angle was going to suffer, and it didn't. And that kind of showcased that. One of the things that I do want to talk about is the stock electronics. So the only thing that I'll likely replace on this truck is the ASD servo and the radio and receiver. The stock motor and ESC work perfectly fine. And I likely won't replace the front steering servo until this one gives out. And I actually will probably add another servo because not a lot of people talk about this, but there is ASD in the transmission as well. Which means that you have front and rear dig capabilities in the truck built into it, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive angle there. Tires are good.
Would buy again.
Oh, absolutely. The wheelbase is kind of a cheat, right? So like right there.
What's the width on it?
Eek.
Yeah, that thing would be a blast at Axial test.
So the width out of
I started putting that TPO2 together and then immediately got on A-Main and ordered a bearing kit for it. I'm not putting plastic bushings in them. Does it have overdrive, Jacob?
yeah, I think it does.
A little? Yeah, it's got like 30 something in it.
I don't know how much it has.
How about that? Yeah, that's what it was, like 30. some percent stock.
Look at that I mean, it just.
Oh yeah, that's
Well, so this is like way better than the capper was when I got it right out of the box.
just with the tire change.
I mean, just in general, right? The tires obviously help. Adding the 2 pounds of BBs in the front helps a lot, but
You're done trailing and go to Target.
yeah. See, like right there with that cutting brake, I was able to manipulate it right up onto that. I mean, that was beautiful.
The crack of beans.
It's tough. Servo's not happy.
I don't know why this thing won't climb that. I can throw a big metal plate on the top. That's cool.
Ooh, the steering servo's a bit soft.
That's gonna be a no for me, huh? Just gonna back down off of that. This is my show truck.
Oh, I think I could probably get that with enough time. It's the problem is that the cutting brakes aren't actuating very good out of the
Well,
really good change radio. Ready for these tires to be worn in, I'll tell you that.
Oh, too bad. I thought the leaf things would make it like super fast and good. Yeah, cool. I feel I'm more fan of the fuel test than the Phoenix was. I like the Phoenix, but I don't want to do some stuff here that's going to make it non-trail ready. So I can
Huh?
You got a piece of straw through your wheel that
Straw.
yeah, on the that's one from one side to the other through the wheel. Yeah.
Gotta find the right line, I suppose.
I'm not going up on you on that thing, no way.
You might.
I get up there. Oh, I didn't have any food. That's great.
Huh.
So a little bit of a disclaimer. It does look like I'm running the truck at full throttle quite a bit, but really all I'm trying to do is scrub in the tires. The tires are brand new, and I want to break them in a little bit to get some traction. We are about to have some bonus footage here. We did a comp, a fun run with this truck, and we're about to jump into that. So here it is. We're at a fun run comp that we had on a Sunday, and I made the gate 16 inches on this comp to be able to run this truck. And as you can see, the cutting brake works great there. Huge shout out to Jackson for recording the video. Thanks, dude. Didn't quite get the right rear locked up soon enough, and we had to pull a reverse there. Servo's not junk. Servo works good. Should have held the left rear brake down to keep the car drug over to the left, but I didn't know it was going to do that, so we didn't do that.
Huh? No?
Now, I assumed on this bonus that we were going to be able to do this pretty easily because the wheelbase on this truck's like 15 inches, and I can get 12-inch wheelbase crawlers to do this, but for some reason we just couldn't get it. So I could have probably saved a rollover there, but it's a fun run, so I didn't want to scratch it up too badly yet, so we just rolled it over. Watching it run, I mean, the truck is just so graceful. It looks really heavy.
Nice.
It performs like it's really light. The cutting brake here just worked phenomenally. Pulled the truck right over and up through the gate, just like it was supposed to do. That would have easily been a reverse or more without the cutting brakes. And again, you can see the cutting brake here working in our advantage, being able to flip a U-turn and then do another one to go up this next gate.
Okay, 6.
There you can see the ASD servo hanging.
They are. It's so much fun, dude. 8.
You don't really want to go in reverse in a comp, so if you go forward and jolt stop, it should unstick it.
Woo, that was close.
Oh.
No, it hasn't touched
Oh,
it.
it did.
It did
It
touch
did.
there.
So for this one, I should have
Blocked up that right side.
cutting braked the right side, as I just stated in the video,
That would have did it.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
I probably wouldn't have hit
rip.
that
Got
gate.
1-9.
Come on, 10.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Axial GLP1, aka heellimon. Thanks for watching. Huge shout out to our TABO club members, and as always, we hope you have a great day.